Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 18, Episode 2 of Tainted, Grail, Red Death. We are on Chapter 6, Part 1. We just ended up in Merlin's Tower, card 495, Merlin's Tower. And we took a break from Merlin's Tower for a moment just to gather our forces. But we are going to go back down south eventually to check out Castle Camelot, which is our goal. Goal for Chapter 6 is... our quest is to pass through the Golden Alley and enter Camelot. Optional is gain entry to the Fomorian Empire through the northern reaches. We've already been through the Fomorian Empire before in a previous chapter, so let's go with that. But we've also got our mounted Bayor here. Bayor mounted on this giant hog. Got a paint through video for these. We've swapped out the miniatures just to mix it up a bit. We've also got Maggot and Ailey here as well for us to check out, both on equally strange creatures. We'll do a quick word from our sponsor and then we'll get into Chapter 6, Episode 2. Thank you guys for watching. Fathom Hobbies is brought to you by the books that we produce. We've got the 6 volumes of August Moldenhauer and Giuseppe Balsamo's Cat 2 journals out of Lovecraft's Providence, including the Hermeticism of Hastur, Genealogy of Cthulhu, Necromancy of Nyarlathotep, and also featuring our hardcover edition of the Cat 2 journals. We've also got the 3 volumes of August Moldenhauer's Artificial Psychoanalysis Desiring Machines, also available in our hardcover edition. We've also got our podcast series featuring the Esoteric Saturn Mysteries, the Esoteric Dragon Mysteries, and also Alchemy and Anthroposophy in the Dune Saga, a deep dive into what makes Frank Herbert's Dune Saga resonate with us. We've got a special sponsor this month, Nereus Media, featuring Benson Magos' Flowing the Tears of the Flesh Android and the Trump trilogy ending in the God Emperor Trump. Finally, we've got our newest offering, The Alchemical Courtship in the Dreamlands, taking place in Lovecraft's Dreamlands. Each volume takes place in a different Lovecraft city. Aimless in the dream city of Cellophase, Hope's Home in Iron Domed Dalathlene, Stubborn Devotions in Thrawn with the Temple of Hypnos. Check out the bookstore link, check out our Patreon. Now back to our gameplay. Okay, without any further ado, let's jump back into our gameplay. I will go back to 495 Merlin's Tower. It says, through countless small floors, the spiral staircase reaches staggering heights. We don't have the Forlorn Splendor, same that we mentioned last time for our statuses. No Forlorn Splendor. So let's go up to part... do we have Forlorn Splendor part 1? No. Okay, it says... so the top is the study, and the secret laboratories are deep under the tower. Let's go check the secret laboratories under the tower, then we can go back up the spire later. It says, after a couple of floors of storerooms and workshops, you end up in the featureless room at the bottom of the tower. There's nothing here save for a small set of metal rotatable dials in one of the walls. If your miasma is high, go to... no, our miasma is medium, so it's okay. If you have the Forlorn Splendor part 1, go to verse 2. Otherwise, go to verse... here, this verse. So we're going to go to... 5. One, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. So we're going to his laboratory down in the basement. 5, 1, 3. Each of the dials can be turned to a number from 1 to 8. There are 3 of them. Without some sort of help, guessing the right password seems impossible. You inspect the surroundings of the dials carefully and discover some hairline scratches that make 4 digits and an arrow, possibly left by someone as a hint. Turn the dials. Okay, so 2, 3, 1, 7. So maybe it's the middle of each one. Or maybe it's 5, 4, 8. Maybe it's 5, 4, 8. Sorry, yeah, 5, 4, 8. I'll add them. Right? 5, 4, 8 is my guess, right? 5, 4, 8. Let's guess 5, 4, 8. We turn the dials 5, 4, 8. No, there's no 5, 4, 8. Okay, so that wasn't it. Go to verse 501 instead. Strange grindings come from behind the dials and slowly return to the original position. Your answer was incorrect. Exploration ends. Okay, so let's go back and try it again. Let's go and try 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 7, maybe? 2, 4, 7. No, incorrect. 23, 1, 7. What can it be? Just 2, 2, 3, 1, 7. 2, 3, 1, 7. 2, 3, 1, 7. 3, 3, 7. 2 3s and 1 7. Correct. Okay, 3, 3, 7. Correct. A loud click comes from behind the dials as the door slides. The moment the door whips up the dust that irritates your eyes and throat, through watery eyes, you see a cramped yet well-organized library and laboratory. You step in, feeling the weight of your discovery. You must be the first person who's been here since the departure of King Arthur. Leafing through the books reveal their magical and scientific subjects. You have little time to study forgotten knowledge. But you could find something of use between the crumbling pages. The laboratory equipment is a miracle of ancient glass working. Intricate cannulas, containers of various shapes and sizes, jars full of strange substances, insanely complex alembics. You would need several years to learn how to use all of these. Then you notice something strange. A part of the room that looks like an entrance to a corridor ends in a wall. It also doesn't look like as old as the rest of the walls. The mortar is less dirty, and the stone has a lighter hue. Study the ancient tomes. Search the place. Let's go ahead. We'll search the place. Search the place. It says, you search rocks, feel walls, browse dozens of tables with small containers. There's nothing more here. No secret passage or treasure. Only books, and utensils that are useless to you. Disassemble the suspicious wall. Do we have case solved? Part 3. Case solved? No, we don't have it. Case solved part 3. Pay 3 status each. Study the ancient tomes. Well, let's study the ancient tomes. We pay 2 energy per party member. Okay. And we gain 2 magic each. That's helpful. So we'll gain 2 magic each. And then we start over again. So 2 magic. 2 magic. And 2 magic. Okay. Now we have to disassemble the suspicious wall. If you don't have the case solved, we don't have case solved. So pay 3 per character. No, that's bad. So now we're down to 2. And we go to verse 350. 350. Okay. You scrape out the mortar, which happens to be fragile and crumbles easily under the hard iron of the chisel found nearby one of its tables. Stone by stone, you disassemble the wall that was clearly raised in haste by someone who was no stone mason. On the other side, you find another part of the laboratory, but it looks grimmer. The floor is littered with shattered glass and paper. Diseased body parts float in glass containers. Glass tubes filled with dried-up blood, notes, and abandoned purge suits imply that the subject of research was nothing other than the Red Death. Further in the room, you find a couple of small cells, each of them charred inside. If you strain your eyes, you can just about make out human silhouettes burned into the wall. One of the walls, instead of a shadow, has a smashed hole through which you see sewers. Each character gains 1 experience, then lose 1 miasma, and gain the Chronicles of the Plague Part 2 and Case Solved Part 3 status. Chronicles of the Plague Part 2 and Case Solved Part 3 status. Case Solved Part 3, Case Solved Part 3, and then Chronicles of the Plague 2. Chronicles of the Plague Part 2, and Part 2. Okay, Chronicles of the Plague Part 2, Case Solved Part 3. Reminder, if this was the last part of the Chronicles of the Plague status, go to verse 800 now. Otherwise, exploration ends. Okay, so I guess we're going to end on that turn. Exploration ends here. And we will stay here for the night again. And we'll grab a food each from our pile here. And reset our health and strength. And we will see you guys in the next episode. See you in round number 3. Thank you for watching.